Here we go.
Sure. But yeah, dude, those buttons that you push on girls, or the buttons that girls push on you, they're powerful. And it's crazy when you start realizing that you can push those buttons. Once you learn how to push those buttons is when you get this. I understand why women get a power trip, because women are better at it than men. I maintain that women are socially more sharp than men are on this kind of thing. They have to learn it sooner than we do, and some men never learn it. But once you learn how to push those buttons and you can control people with that, it's such an exposed button, but you just don't.
Well, what's interesting is you say that it's control on them. You're not controlling them. If anything, you're telling them what you won't allow. And therefore, there's a barrier there that they can try to get past. But if you're strong in what you believe in, you're not going to give. The moment you... It's so true. You're a big fan, you're a big proponent of this, is not to give them a goddamn centimeter. Because the moment you do that, it just expands from there. So you have to say, no, like, I'm going to still be me until I say otherwise. Like, if we're boyfriend and girlfriend, God forbid, that means that you've passed a lot of tests, and you've also understand that I'm liable to go straight back into single life if I so choose to, because you fucked up or you tried to fuck with me.
That's one button that you should hit if you're in a relationship. I think you need to hit this button regularly, and this is talked about. I've heard it from Trevor, and you read about it online. But like, if you go out on a date with a girl, you're out together, you go somewhere, get beers, you flirt. Like, if you flirt with the waitress right in front of her just a little bit, just to let her know like what's up, then you've like that's you saying like, I've got options. You need to act this way because I can still do this. If I just sit here and stare in your eyes all googly-eyed and this cute waitress comes up and hands me a beer and I don't even look at you, you're going to look at me like, this guy's got nothing other than me. He's got nothing in his pocket.
Yeah, if you don't look at the waitress, you mean.
You got to look at the waitress, flirt with her a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And you don't even need to flirt. Just be socially open so she can see this. He's got game.
It's not even a way of distinguishing like, oh, I'm trying to like deliberately make you feel a certain way. It's just you being you, and you're not focusing in on a single person, because you're still gonna be you. That, to me, on a first date, I establish that almost immediately. Anywhere we go, I'm upfront with the people who are sitting us down, whatever. I'm charming, and I continually just go off on being charming with everybody. Because what's the point of like suddenly, you're exactly right, focusing in with laser-like focus on this one person, and then you're sitting there going, I love you, you're my everything. That's gross. No one wants that.
When you get a girl, you meet her at the bars, she meets you, let's say you guys have a mutual attraction right away. She's attracted to you because of who you are in that moment. She has no other reason. She doesn't know you through friends. Like, you guys meet each other, you cross paths. She's attracted to you for that reason. If you guys start going out and you start going googly-eyed, you change who you are. So you're no longer the person that she became attracted to.
Yeah, you're not as strong, in my opinion, in her eyes too.
That's another thing. So you sacrificed who you are for this other person, which just indicates you're weak.
You've just given in to their will. You're playing their game now. If there was one thing I learned recently, is I started kickboxing with this dude, and he was like, you got to be a thinking fighter. To me, that's what life is. We're constantly fighting. When you go out and get drunk with your buddies, what are you doing? You're intoxicating yourself. You're fighting. Your body is now fighting a poison. We are fighters. We are all fighters. And the moment you give in and start fighting another person's fight, meaning that you're falling for their traps, so they throw a left jab, and then you go left on your left, and then they throw the right, and you fall right into it. That's what's happening. You got to be a thinking fighter. You have to be ready for any punch that they're about to throw, and the response should be exactly how you're going to respond all the time, meaning you're going to be defensive, you're going to fucking look for the next punch, and then the moment they throw it, you duck, and then you can be ready to throw another jab if you want to. To me, it's a great analogy, because it says two things. It says, one, you can fight. 2, you're not gonna fucking play any other games other than your own.
Unfortunately, women have titties, so you start looking down and they punch you in the face.
Dude, I love titties.
That's what I'm talking about, though. That's what I'm saying, man. They get their titties out, and then they hypnotize you with them. Just go to sleep.
Dude, the moment...
Just go to sleep, and then you go to sleep, and they smack you in the face. You have to not give in to the hypnosis.
You can't give in. But, dude, the moment... You said titties. The moment you brought up that these girls are wearing these, like, low-cut Vs. Like, they are low... They're down to the belly button now.
Yep.
No bra or bra. Doesn't matter. Titties are just popping out nowadays. It's getting so seductive, and we as men are getting so pussified that we just let it happen, and we can't go, hey, nice titties, bitch. Like we can't even say that, or we look like slobs.
Or you can say it.
Or you can say it, and then to me, it's when you do say it that women are like, oh my God, he's not like the other pussies. Like, he's not gonna just be a pussy.
They go, titties, you want a beer?
They might even get offended, but the fact that they get offended means that you just won. Now they're fighting your fight. And so now you have them on the ropes, and they're going, well, he acknowledged my titties even though he's not supposed to. What am I gonna do?
It's supposed to be a silent power. But the thing, dude, they know it. They almost universally know it. I can't imagine having that power. They all get together like, hey girls, let's show our titties, and then we can control the human race. It's like, they're doing it to these weak men. That's what they're doing.
It's so funny. I just love it, because once you understand it, and you sit down, and they're looking all hot, and it doesn't really faze you. Like, it does, but you're not letting it faze you. And they're because women's power, you're right, is their appearance.
Their sexuality.
Their sexuality. That's what they're using. If they have nothing else, like if they're not charming, if they're not charismatic, they got fucking nothing. As long as you can just sit there and go, okay, yeah, you have boobs, but what else you got?
Okay, so I was just about to get to that. The best way to approach it, where I sit now, you got some girls coming over to go out tonight or whatever. Your girl shows up and she's looking extra fly. The best way to approach that is just go, like, damn, you're looking good, and then change the subject on. So you give her her change, you throw it on the ground, and then you're on. So she goes,
change on the ground.
And so she's like, all right, so like I kind of got what I was going for, but not quite. So the game is back on.
You're right. That relationship is a two-way street where, yes, she is consistently and constantly looking good with her beauty, her looks, but you only give it so much merit. So you give it just that little, you look good tonight. I like that. But I'm still not impressed. And the moment they see that you're not fully impressed and fully in on whatever it is that they got going on, that's when they start going, okay, this guy is going to take a little more work, and they have to start thinking a little bit more.
Look at the two extremes of this situation. So you've got a girl who shows up looking fly. So the one extreme that I think is probably the most common, just from anecdotal, is you've got the guys who come in and just obsess about your looks and how sexy you are all night. And then the girls go, look at this faggot over here, just like, he thinks I'm just sexy, and he can't even see the world for the forest for the trees. And then you've got the other side of it, you just don't acknowledge it at all. And then it's like, well, why did I even get dressed up to come out with this guy? Too much apathy is also a bad thing. So right in the middle, you just go, damn, you're looking fly, and then move on. Right there.
Have you ever? I know this has happened to you because you told me, but this has happened to me too, where a girl will later on, after you've totally, like, you knew she was pretty and you knew she was cute, you were probably too embarrassed, or maybe you didn't feel like you were her type or something like that. So you never really tried. You never tried to be like, hey, you're cute, you're pretty. In fact, you did the complete opposite, like you're saying, and just acted like I'm focusing on something else. Maybe it was at school or something like that. So you never gave it merit. And so later you see her and she's like, I always thought you were so cute. And it's like, that's because you never fucking gave it a chance. In her head, she was waiting for you to say something so fierce. Like, she would come to class dressed up just to wait for your compliment or comment or your attention. But because you were laser focused engineering student, fuck man, if I don't pass this test, I'm fucking screwed. I don't have time to pay attention to women. still in her mind, she's going, why don't you pay attention to me? Like, why don't you pay attention? And then later, she says some shit like that. It was like, oh, I always thought you were so cute. Why didn't you ever talk to me? And then you were like, and then you blow it because you're like, oh, fuck, I gotta fucking try hard now.
That's true, and you have to stand real strong when that door opens. It's only open for a minute. It's really easy to just dive through it head first. You gotta be careful though, because it's so easy to just go to that extreme and be like, oh, I thought you were sexy too.
Yeah, yeah. That's when she says that shit. That's when you're just like, oh yeah, I never noticed you. You were in that class. You were in that class.
Oh my god, I remember your socks with the kittens on them on September 24th. You can't do that, man. And you know what, man? That's who I was for the longest time.
Same here, man. I was so bad at fucking any girl's attention that I got. I went full force, took that as a note to like try to make a point of now giving this girl more attention than I gave anyone else. So once you learn from that, then you realize, oh, if I'm charming and intelligent all the time with everybody, then I can think smart. Then I can be that thinking fighter, and anything that comes my way, I take the input and I have an unbiased output.
So I read something online that was fantastic. It basically said that the women want to be number two. This was fine. Somebody verbalized something that I had stored in the back of my head. There's no way for me to get it out, but somebody wrote it perfectly. It was, they want to be number two in your life. So you have a nice car. The women need to be the jewelry on the nice car or the motorcycle. Your car is your number one. You work on your car. It's your nice car. You have a job. You work at your job. That's your primary focus. And then the woman is just, it's the sweetener to it. That's where they want to be. So as soon as you start going like, I have this nice job. I have a nice car. This is my life. And then you are allowed to enter it. But that makes you number two. As soon as you start going, hey, this is my wife. She's gorgeous and sexy and she does this. I also have a job and this car. Then they go like, well, what? Like, well, I have a life too that I'm like doing on my own. So now I have to make you happy. That's where their head goes. They start thinking that they're responsible for your happiness because you put all that weight on them, and they don't want that. They're not built for that.
Sure.
We are built for that. We are built for, I've got this job, this income. I'm gonna get this car working. I'm gonna make things happy, and then you're welcome to join me in my happiness.
Exactly.
That's number two in their heads, but you can't say that to it. You can't just like,
no.
Well,
because then they go, oh, you're treating me like an object.
Well, some of them will. The ones who are like down to earth will be like, cool, I'm like, this is where I want you to be badass, and I'm gonna be badass with you.
That's okay.
I think that goes on down at like a deep level.
It does, and I think we're slowly breaking away from that period where women were more reliant on a man. I was talking with someone, I was explaining this to someone, but you know why women are fucking terrible at navigation? It's because they fucking never had to figure out where the fuck to go. Because the guy would pick them up. You're a good-looking chick, right? So, not you, not saying...
Oh, yeah, fuck you, thanks.
But that's what I would say. Like, so some chick, she's a good-looking girl. I gotta go pick her up. I have to think of the restaurant to go to. I have to think of where it is. I have to keep the directions in my head. This is back in the days where there was a MapQuest or whatever, right? That I'm thinking in terms of like a 1990s man. I have to figure out all the shit. I had to make the reservations. Now I gotta pick this bitch up. And then I have to open the door for her, do all this shit. She doesn't know where the fuck we're going.
She gets to be number two to your night of fun.
And that's fine. And that's fine. I don't think there was anything wrong with that. Because a lot of women actually like that. That's why there's such a difference in talk between women versus a group of women versus a group of men. It's funny. I was at the optometrist office, and I was sitting there in the chair with all the little lenses and stuff that they got, and I was just listening to the optometry assistants outside in the hall. One of them goes, hey, ladies, come here. I got to show you this little kid that he's adorable. And so the next thing, and I knew this was going to happen, they all walk over, and what's the next thing you hear? Aww. and that's the difference there, because a group of guys, one dude that said that, he's like, hey guys, bros, you got to come check this out. the next thing you'll hear, fucking laughter, because they're like, ah, this faggot broke his leg, ah. That's the difference of what we're looking at, is we're looking at women who base their judgments off of appearances and, like, values, right? Like, how things look, how things, they have to be charming in their eyes, but for men, it's how fucking tough are you? How critical and analytical can you be? So there's these two worlds clashing right now.
When I would suggest that, like, a second date should always, I think a second or third date should be you invite the girl and her friends out with you and your friends. So you got the first date, which everybody hates the first date. It's always awkward. It feels forced. You have these same questions that always go over the same way, kind of. But the second date should be like, I'm going out tonight with or without you, first of all. I'm going to go out tonight. I'm going to have fun. You're welcome to join me and my friends in my fun. You can bring your friends out, but then they get to you can't, this comes back to what we were saying at the beginning. You can't get super focused on your girl. You gotta go out. You got to go out the way that you would go out without her, and she's welcome to join you. Because then she gets to see you working with other men.
And her friends.
And then she's comfortable because she's with her friends, you're right. But then, like, you know you're going to have fun. You've been out with your boys dozens of times.
Yeah.
You're going to have fun, and she's going to see you having fun. She's going to have fun by proxy.
Yeah, but she's also looking at another thing, too, which is how are you behaving with her friends? I've had a lot of people tell me, I've gone out, and actually, I've experienced this too. The dudes go out and they don't try to interact with the friends. Why are you being so stupid? Act with their friends just like you would with her, because then she goes, oh shit, I still gotta be top notch in my friend group. Granted, you're not gonna go and, like, bang her friends or whatever, but let her know that you're still fucking you.
And you're an idiot. And I think men overlook this point, which this seems obvious to us, but men overlook this point. If you don't think that women talk about everything that you say and do, they're screenshotting text messages of what you're sending to each other. If you don't understand that, it's almost like she's going to stay with you. If she likes you, she's not going to stay with you because she likes you. She's going to stay with you because she likes you and her friend approves.
Yes.
And her friend's approval is way more important than her own opinions.
So true.
If you don't have her friend, you're going to lose in a minute.
Because a man... Women, it's funny. Women think of men as more like, look at this high value man. Because he likes me, I'm also high value. So the value trickles down, and there we go. We're back into, this is why they don't have to have navigation skills and shit. So it's not a sexist thing.
You just navigated their own self-worth.
It's a matter of just differences in how we behave. But it makes total sense. A man is responsible for going out and venturing into the world, figuring out how the world works, and then finding a nice dime piece that looks good when he walks around in the world.
And the actual expression is arm candy. So it's, you got a hot bitch in the side of your car, she makes your car more valuable. On the back of your bike, in your house, arm candy. She's second place.
Any girl... If you're a lady and you're listening to this and you've seen that douchebag in the Audi with the fucking fat build cap and he's got some hot little number in the side and you go, that's so typical. You want to be that girl. You fucking want to be sitting right next to that motherfucker.
Because who are you dating?
No one.
You're probably single.
Yeah, probably single.
You're probably single.
You're probably single.
And you wouldn't just go on a ride with him because you matched on Tinder, but if you matched in the, oh my god, we met and it was like perfect the way, then you would be in the seat next to him. You're right, and then you would be second place. It's hard to admit that's
the dynamic has to work that way. But yeah. I'm starting to realize that in this generation, women are starting to have second place men.
Yes,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Women are starting to...
They're being taught that they're capable of doing that. Some of them are. I think there's a lot of relationships that do that, but it's not the norm.
That's fine, though.
There's too many women who have accomplished that, and then they've convinced the populace that that's what you should strive for, and they're not adding any thought to what they want. Because I don't know, man. My parents, for me, my parents were, it's like dad was very clearly number one. This is where the choices are coming from, and she has her say in thing, but that's how it works.
And that's fine. That's the traditional way, but it is starting to change.
Also, there's a reason it's called the traditional way. It's not because
right. It makes sense.
It's not like there was a panel of people back in the year 1000 and there's 50% men and women, blacks and Asians, and they're all like, so if we sit here and think about this, we're gonna have this is how things are gonna be socially and structurally. This is how homes are gonna be and children. Nah, it's just there's one caveman smacked a cave woman in the head and like this is how things are, and that's how it's nobody stood up and changed it because that's everybody felt right. Let me get back on. Let me get back. Everybody felt right doing that for thousands of years.
Well, let's think about why. If you're a dude and you venture out into the woods, you might run into a wolf or a fucking bear, for God's sake, and you're gonna have to fucking put up a fight. That was the purpose of that, is that as a dude, you might have to fight. And physically, men are much fucking stronger and larger in stature.
That's not where I was getting at all.
Oh, sorry. I thought that's where you're taking it.
I was basically just getting it like, we fell into these quote-unquote social roles because it felt right to everyone for thousands of years.
It's based off of that, though. It's based off of
maybe like a deep, but it's just like, yo, I'm better at getting work done right now, so I'm going to do that, and you're better at taking care of the kids and making bread and dinner.
Exactly.
So we just, like, we fell into those roles naturally for thousands of years, so... But now everyone's being told, like, hey, you can change that, you can be empowered. You can be, but it's like you're. I think there's a lot of people lying to themselves about that.
Maybe where I think that we're lying to ourselves is exactly what I'm saying. The physicalness. If you're a woman and you are the number one in the house, you have to be ready to take a punch. Maybe even literally take a punch. So that's my point. Is that we've now become so independent. That, yes, women have this capability of getting their own job, being a successful career business person, career-oriented business person. And, yes, they can make the most money in the household, which is great. To me, there's no problem with that. Sure. I don't find a problem with that. The problem comes when a woman is talking some shit and suddenly she thinks that she can fucking take a punch from a dude. My fist is fucking huge compared to some of the girls that I know. So
there's more roles that come into it than they're sold.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's where I think we still end up falling back into the traditional situation, and that's what a lot of women like because they don't want to have to fight a big giant motherfucker. They're not going to know what to do.
Right. And they want to be second. They want to be standby.
They just want to have someone be the provider and not have to worry about things like that. So they worry about the appearance. The men worry about whatever the fuck else the world is going to bring. That's how I've felt lately.
You know what's funny is so it's the women are the jewelry of the men's life. They are what she looks good with you. It signals to other men what you're worth. But they are designed to be the jewelry. They are sexy to men and women. They're that's you're the diamonds.
Why do you think they say Beauty and the Beast? Women have the sexy, men have the brawn. That's just how it is, man. That's how it's been for a long time. It's going to take a long time to get past that point.
Very relevant turning point there. The movie's coming out like this Friday or whatever.
Ooh, Emma Watson.
Yeah, with the gay guy in the movie, because it has to be politically correct now.
Wait, he's gay?
But someone's gay in the movie, and they made a big deal about it. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. Like Disney sold this movie.
There's
Beauty
a gay
and the Beast,
person in
plus a gay side guy.
Is the clock and the
clock and the candle are fucking
gay?
Oh, turn me back! It's daylight savings.
Oh my god. That's some funny shit.
Yeah, man. I think it's funny because there might be some women who try and signal that they've been taught that they can be the strong, independent woman. They might have good education, they might be smart and be able to provide for themselves. They might be able to do that indefinitely, but they still want a dude to come in and just... They can do that. They can do that, but still have a badass husband. Why can't you do both?
Why do you think there's women who are prestigious doctors who probably still want some dude to just come in and just take control of them and just wreck them?
That'd be curious. I'd like to
You've
meet.
done that.
I'd like to meet.
You've banged like lawyers and shit.
I know, but
that.
I would like to meet a lawyer or a doctor's husband. So a good example of this is Oprah. Oprah, arguably the most powerful woman on the planet, her husband doesn't work. He doesn't do shit. But he controls the most powerful. And if you look
I doubt he controls her.
No, if you look at pictures of them on like Hollywood and red carpet stuff, she's hanging off his arm. She looks like some googly-eyed high schooler.
Does.
How does he like?
That's
I would love to talk to that
man. I bet she fucking bends him over and just wrecks his ass.
No, I bet she goes home. And she demands that he do that to her.
I doubt
or he just does it by force. Man,
I wouldn't be surprised if Oprah's got like 10 other dudes that are slaying on her because this Stedman can't handle it, man.
I think she's got her
maybe
concrete pivot. That's what I'm saying though. I would love to talk to a man like that. That's why we're split on it, because I think that
we would need to know for sure his side of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you meet? I bet the way that they met was very mundane, but he just said the right things, and he was that guy. He's just sturdy. He was strong, is just what she was looking for.
I'm not convinced. The reason being is because I've met women like that, and they'll even have a dude who they get who abides by the woman's rule. And then the moment that happens, the man is the beta. And the moment that's taken away from them, to me, they're weak. And they're weak not only in her eyes, but in society's eyes. And so everyone is looking down on that male, that dude, going, dude, you're a little bitch. You're Oprah's bitch.
Well, this goes the other direction. So men want the arm candy, the jewelry, the nice piece in the car, but they want the same thing. They want to be able to sit. So we're signaling to other men, it's like, yo, look at this hot piece of ass that I got rolling with me in the car. They also want to roll up to their friends and be like, yo, look at this balding motherfucker who's got connections and nice things and is providing. We are equal arm candy to each other's.
It's starting to be like that.
The need is different. I think
it's starting to be like that.
Well, we're starting to admit it to each other.
Yeah, I don't think it's always been like that.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, that's weird.
So if you can find a girl who, like, dude, she's got to show up. Here's the thing. You're not worthy of a hot piece of ass if you're not your own equivalent male version of a hot piece of ass. Why would a 10 roll up in your 93 Honda Civic to a shitty house party?
And
why?
And a male equivalent isn't like some GQ magazine looking dude.
No.
It's a dude who is very full of action. To me, a male is more of action oriented. Like, I see something that I want, and I fucking go take that shit. I don't let anyone get in my way.
Do you know why? Because when you take it, she's there to receive the fruits of the...
That's how it's been. And again, that's going back to traditional roles. But nonetheless, to me, that's what a top-notch dude does, is he gets fucking shit done. Why do you think fucking Bill Gates can probably go slay? Well, that's because he fucking got shit done. He might be a little nerdy or whatever, but still,
there's plenty of goofy-looking rich motherfuckers who just have dime pieces on them. And I'd like to ask someone who doesn't believe in this, like, how do you think some goofy-looking wealthy motherfucker gets these like models? You call him a gold digger. That's what all women are to a degree. That's the extreme side of it. Like, young bitch marries some old wealthy guy, but they're still all like they're trying to get the fruits of your work. But you're getting the fruits of her looks through social currency by having a hot girl on your arm when you show up to social events.
That's what I'm saying.
So
that's what's happening. Nonetheless, to bring it all full circle, when you have that power as, I guess, not just a dude, but as a girl too, you show that not only can I fucking get the fucking arm candy, I will have no problem getting rid of this arm candy and moving on to the next arm candy, because I fucking
you have to weigh your value
like that.
So the full circle for me is the value, is the work that I'm putting in worth the value that you're giving to me, and I need to you need to understand this is my value, but this is not what I'm getting back. So if you can just like let them know, it's like, hey, there's other value to be had. You need to be this certain level of value for me to keep you around. Because if you're not, there's this one right here. This girl serving me.
She's acting right now.
She's acting right.
She's acting fucking right.
I mean,
so fucking know your fucking place. But yeah, so this is only our third podcast doing this. So if you guys could give us some comments, that would be great.
We're looking for some feedback. We're seeing that we're getting some good views where we're posting it right now. So any feedback, good or bad, I don't give a shit if you like it or not. I just want to hear from you guys. So thanks, guys.